Welcome to this explainer. We are analyzing a critical friction point in modern development, the economics of artificial intelligence. The zero-cost Claude Code implementation guide we're deconstructing today is not a simple cost-saving measure. It's a fundamental architectural bypass. We're tearing down exactly how developers are circumventing expensive, recurring subscription models by leveraging highly efficient, open-source routing infrastructure. This is a masterclass in utilizing decentralized compute networks to retain absolute control over your coding environment. Let's analyze the underlying architecture of the shift. Consider the central contradiction in our current workflow. On one side, you have the conventional paradigm, a $20 monthly paywall for a Claude Pro subscription. It's a rigid, walled garden restricting access to high-tier cognitive processing. On the other side is the structural alternative, the completely free Claude Code tool. The industry standard has effectively conditioned developers to accept these compounding subscription fees as an unavoidable baseline cost of doing business. But the data reveals a severe flaw in that assumption. The open source community has engineered a highly sophisticated alternative that shatters this financial dichotomy. Section 1. Breaking the paywall and the middleware secret. To circumvent the financial barrier, we must look beneath the user interface and analyze the routing logic. Enter the middleware proxy. We aren't looking at a fragile exploit of Anthropic's native servers. That would be inefficient and highly volatile. Instead, this is an elegant open-source intervention. Visualize this tool as a highly intelligent, silent traffic controller operating entirely within your secure local environment. When you execute a command in the Claude Code command line interface, this middleware intercepts the payload. Rather than sending that command down its default path to paid infrastructure, it intelligently redirects the request to external, completely free AI models. It's a seamless, invisible intervention that preserves your capital while executing the computational demand. Smart routing with zero cost. The most severe point of friction when adopting any new developer tool is the disruption of established workflows. Shifting your terminal habits costs time, and time is capital. This proxy neutralizes that friction entirely. You maintain your exact workflow, utilizing the official native Claude Code terminal interface you already know and trust. The middleware operates strictly in the background. The inputs are identical, the outputs are identical. The only variable altered is the financial drain, which is mathematically reduced to zero. Section 2. 3 steps to setup. Theory is useless without execution. We're going to strip away the complexity with a rapid-fire deployment sequence to initialize this proxy locally. 3 steps. Run the terminal commands, connect the free APIs, and choose your model. Step 1 is ruthlessly efficient. Open your preferred environment, PowerShell, macOS terminal, or a standard bash shell. You execute a clean 2-command setup sequence. These commands pull the necessary repository and anchor the middleware proxy directly into your system's architecture. Notice the lack of friction here. It requires absolutely no advanced system administration privileges. Step 2 constructs the bridge between your local proxy and external compute power. You require a free API key. 2 primary providers dominate this space, NVIDIA NIM and OpenRouter. These platforms are aggressively commoditizing AI access, offering substantial free tiers to capture developer mindshare. You simply navigate to their portals, generate a unique API key, and securely embed it into the local configuration file we just created. This arms your middleware, authorizing it to query remote models on your behalf and completely bypassing standard billing gateways. 40. Analyze that scale for a moment. Through the NVIDIA NIM free tier, you are not receiving a restrictive temporary trial. You are granted a massive allocation of 40 requests every single minute. In perpetuity. Calculate the output. 40 complex coding operations, deep architectural reviews, or logic generations processed every 60 seconds, entirely subsidized by NVIDIA server farms. This is a staggering volume of frictionless bandwidth that fundamentally rewrites what a solo developer can engineer without a heavy corporate budget backing them. Step 3 reveals the strategic depth of this architecture. You're not forced to rely on legacy or deprecated systems. You route smarter by deploying flagship, top-tier open-source models like GLM 4.7 and Kimi K2.5. This provides profound tactical flexibility. You analyze the friction of your current coding problem and dynamically switch these models based on your immediate constraints. Optimize for raw speed on simple scripts or demand maximum complex reasoning for intricate architectural bugs. You dictate the processing terms using state-of-the-art cognitive engines, entirely free of charge. Section 3, bonus feature, mobile coding. The utility here shatters the constraints of a static desktop environment. True robust architecture is defined by adaptability, and this proxy was engineered with asynchronous, remote execution in mind. The workstation is no longer a physical location, it is simply a state of connectivity. You can code directly from your phone. The setup includes natively built-in bot integrations for both Discord and Telegram. By binding the middleware to these communication protocols, you can push complex coding tasks straight from your mobile device. In transit or away from the primary terminal, you issue the command, the AI processes the logic remotely, and returns the compiled output directly to your secure chat interface. It is a commanding level of decentralized access. We conclude our analysis here. The walled gardens of paid artificial intelligence are, at their core, an illusion maintained entirely by friction. You now hold the blueprint to bypass that friction. If you're prepared to optimize your architecture and reclaim your capital, the execution protocol is yours. Drop the word code in the comments below, and you'll instantly receive a direct message with the complete step-by-step setup guide we discussed. Save this explainer to reference the architectural steps, but consider this final insight. As elite computational reasoning is aggressively commoditized to zero, the future doesn't belong to those who can afford the most expensive toll roads. It belongs to those who engineer the smartest bypasses. What bypass are you building today?